I spend a lot of time thinking about what Denver is, and I think that at its heart, one of the things that Denver is it's kind of this former cow town trying to find its place in the world. We're kind of right in the middle of the country. We're caught between these two coasts. And I think there are times when we're not exactly sure what our identity is as a city, as we've kind of grown out of this idea of a cow town. I really love about Denver today seeing all of these different people move from different places and bring these ideas and businesses that they're passionate about and creating a market for that. I feel like when people move and they miss some bodega or some shop that they had in their city and they want to see it here, it creates a market and it creates so much more diversity in a city. And so while I feel like a lot of Denver natives don't like all of the transplants here, I feel like this is part of what's really crafting diversity and interest in this city and bringing ideas that might be new to us here in Denver and making things a little bit more exciting. And I hope that lots of people want to bring that vision to Denver and to create a space or a community in a city that they want to be here. And I think that's part of what makes a city great, and I think that's part of how you foster intelligent change. If I had to take somebody out for a meal here in Denver, if they were just visiting for a little bit, I would take them to Tavernetta. It's really hard to get me out of my kitchen. I love cooking. I cook 2 to 3 times a day, every day. And the food that I cook keeps me coming back for more. And so getting me to go out to a restaurant kind of takes a little bit. But Tavernetta offers, first of all, food that is really well sourced. I trust them with where they're buying their meat and their flour and their vegetables, and that's really important to me. We share a rancher in common, and I think that sometimes having that sort of common point really helps me connect into a restaurant and to know that they're really interested in some of the same things that I'm interested in, working within a food shed to sort of source a lot of their food, and that really excites me. Second, it does feel a little bit like another home. They have this welcoming and warmth to them that really brings you into their space, with the added bonus that they have a couple of culinary tricks up their sleeves that I might not have. When I go to Tavernetta, I feel like I'm learning something about flavor combinations. I feel like I'm learning something about technique and about presentation. And they just kind of wrap this sort of food that feels like home, and they take it and they elevate it, and it's still accessible. It still feels like food that you understand. It's not too precious, but it's so delicious and so skillfully and artfully made. One of the things I really love about Tavernetta is that when you sit down, you get this chance to watch the restaurant unfold. Unlike a lot of other restaurants, in Tavernetta, the kitchen is exposed, the bar is exposed, where they make the coffee is exposed. And so you get to see the sort of inner workings of a restaurant and this kind of dance between back of house, front of house, the guests, the food, the wine. And I really love seeing all of those contact points sort of come together in what makes a meal and what makes hospitality. I think Tavernetta has a lot to say about today's Denver. Tavernetta is taking this sort of heritage Italian approach that their owners and that their chefs really connect to, and they're putting it within the context of Denver. And I think that that's really cool. They're taking local produce, they're taking local meat, they're taking things that make this state and this food shed special, and they're incorporating it into what makes them passionate about food, which is this sort of Italian heritage dining. And to see that, I feel like it's Denver growing up a little bit, right? It's taking what makes this state great in terms of what it can produce, and it's putting them into a transplant's idea of what is delicious and what they want to showcase to Denver. And so I think it's that balance between those two things that really shows me that Denver is starting to grow up in its food scene.